Good morning. Welcome and happy Thursday. Your early morning intuitive guidance ready to roll. Again, another statement or section that's going to reinforce our invoking divine right timing and divine right order. So clearly we need this message over and over and over again. And I'm happy to be the messenger. Happy to be the messenger. So we'll give it a minute here while everybody finds me and pops on. Hope you're all off to a good start on this fine Thursday. I have a couple of fun things actually planned for today, so I'm looking forward to that, including going to see the Book of Mormon tonight with my friend Kathy. So looking forward to it. So we again have outrageous openness, which, again, no accidents. This is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. The universe is really wanting to make the point that there is such a thing as divine right timing and divine right order. So we can perk up our intuitive ears and take in that message and go from there. I think the hardest part, as with much of this stuff, and I often tell my coaching clients this, that the hardest part of all of this is remembering to use our tools. You've got this amazing toolkit that, whether it's breathing or tapping or journaling or whatever tools we've worked on, remembering to use them. And I can't tell you the number of sheepish looks I get when someone connects for a session and is talking about something untoward that happened and how they struggled with handling it. And I'll ask, which of your tools did you use? And they get this look like, oh yeah, tools. Forgot about those. So that's the hardest part of this whole thing, is just remembering to use what you have in your toolkit. That's a good problem to have, I think. A good problem to have. So let us start. I want to make sure I don't forget to do that. So I've got a little note, a little sticky note. These things, amazing. Whoever invented them, my kind of person. So let's start with some tapping and some breath. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. There's our first person. Welcome. It's Beth. Good morning. You are the first one here today. Glad to have you. Waving back. In through the nose, out through the mouth. There's Abigail. Good morning. And Joe Neal. Hello. All of a sudden the door opened and in everybody pours. Welcome to all of my practical rebels. We're just doing our tapping and our breath. And then we get some more divine right timing and divine right order. Yay us. Grounding to right here, right now. Being fully present in the moment. I even had to dig out my humidifier this morning. The heat ran so much last night and it's forced air, and I was like totally dried up by the time I got up this morning. So I had to go find my humidifier. So, want to remind everybody, we're fast approaching Black Friday, a week from tomorrow. And so I still have my coaching specials going on until midnight on Black Friday. And this divine right timing and divine right order stuff is applicable. If you've been thinking, I really could use a boost. I could use some help with this stuff. I'm not getting this. I don't know what to do to help myself move forward, to get the barriers out of my way, to find my path and stay on it. Maybe we do a round of 3 coaching sessions just to get you rolling in your direction. So if you're interested, I'll try to remember to put the link in the feed, but it's also pinned at the top of my business Facebook page, Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum Empowerment Coaching. So check that out and see if you'd like to do some work with me. I'm looking forward to there's already several people who've signed up. Mostly those ones are 8-session packages, but sometimes all you need is 3 sessions and you're off and running. So outrageous openness, letting the divine take the lead, divine right timing and divine right order. Again, what I do is I just hold the book in my hands. I ask, what do we need to know for today? Open it up, and we went to the ease of flow. The ease of flow. So, take a breath. This isn't so much about the doing. Again, divine feminine. It's about the being open to receiving, being willing to look out there and see the plethora of options we have available. Not the doing thing. And this particular chapter, which if you have the book and you like to read along, in my book it's page 93. This particular chapter is about the holidays. So perfect timing. Perfect timing. I also want to put a plug in for Jonelle and I's Common Ground conversation from last year, the beginning ones from last year, because that was all about the holidays. All about how do you sit next to Great Uncle Harry who's spewing rhetoric and vitriol about the state of the world and taking pot shots at you and all the fun things. So go back and dig those up and check them out, see what you think. But for today, we're talking about the ease of flow. The quote is, just sit there. Don't do a thing. Just rest. For this separation from God, from love, is the hardest work in this world. And that's by Hafiz. There is no separation. It's an illusion. Page 93, at least in my book. It's called The Ease of Flow. Think about this. Hear this invitation. Just sit there. Don't do a thing. Just rest. This separation from God, from love, is the hardest work in the world. In other words, practice alignment. Practice lining up with the divine flow. Work with the flow of the river instead of against it. So she's got a couple of stories she shares, and I think they are very helpful at this point in time. Good morning, Nancy. Welcome. Glad you are here. So let's take a breath and invite our intuitive ears to open up and hear the parts of this that are meant for you. My friend Karen in North Carolina emailed me and said, somehow a change has occurred this holiday season. I'm moving from a place of ease and effortlessness, allowing things to happen as they wish to happen. Ease and effortlessness. Good morning, Janine. Welcome. So for those of you who are on here, there's 5 of you on here right now, and there'll be, 100 or so who by the end of the day will have watched this. Listen to those words. Can you imagine going through this holiday season with ease and effortlessness? Good morning, Mel. Welcome. Got all our practical rebels popping on here. Allowing things to happen as they wish to happen. Divine right timing, divine right order. And we've done 21 days of practicing divine right timing and divine right order, and we've revisited in the interim. So, in fact, let me find it again. Here we go. Call and response. Repeat after me, please. Today the divine will show me the way. I am open to all signs and messages. Thank you for posting that. I appreciate it. The perfect steps are already picked and I am guided to them. Think about that for the holidays. The perfect steps are already picked and I am guided to them. Moving through the world open to constant help gets easier and easier with practice. There we are. Those are our steps to divine right timing and divine right order. So now let's see how Karen's thought of I move from a place of ease and effortlessness, allowing things to happen as they wish to happen. What a great thought during the time of year when people often become the most fearful and crazed. I immediately wrote the line down. The receptive, intuitive mind will absorb the thought even if the critical mind might dispute it. Hear that again. That's really important too. That's why we do this repetition over and over and over again. The receptive, intuitive mind, divine feminine, will absorb the thought even if the critical mind might dispute it. This idea harmonizes so well with divine order. If you align in any particular moment with the flow of life as it presents itself, all will unfold in the right way at the right time with a certain spontaneity and ease. When we try to make something happen, and I'll give you my example, when we try to make something happen, we oftentimes muck it up. When we allow it to unfold the way it's meant to, it goes much more easily. So now I want you to think about that with regard to childbirth. What do? We turn it into a medical procedure. We induce labor. Don't you think that whole system knows how to work? It knows how to. We're doing that for the convenience of doctors. We're not doing that for the well-being of mothers and babies. Yeah, that's a perfect example of how this stuff has run amok, especially in American culture. So here's another story she's sharing. Recently, I was in line at a grocery in Pacific Heights buying a few things. An older, well-dressed lady was standing behind me with a pinched, stressed demeanor, her arms brimming with baguettes and brie. I felt an impulse to let her go ahead. When her whole face suddenly broke into a radiant smile, I glimpsed for a second what she might have looked like as a carefree child. As her food tumbled onto the conveyor, she confessed how frantic she felt every year from Thanksgiving on, and how she wished she knew how to be different. I feel like I hold my life together with safety pins until January, she confessed. I told her that I had made the decision long ago to feel relaxed during the holidays, no matter what. Good God, she exclaimed, as if I had revealed that I secretly had 3 heads. How on earth would you do that? Well, she said, I make a thought or two my anchor. Here's my latest one. And I told her Karen's line. Ease and effortlessness, she mused. Oh, I love that. Now, this next line is going to date how long this book has been out, but I still think it's a... Then she whisked out her BlackBerry from her purse. We'll change it to iPhone 17, whatever. And started typing. There, she said. I just emailed it to myself. Then she grabbed me and gave me a hug. As she walked out the door with her groceries, her face had opened like a rose giving its petals to the sun. Sometimes it just doesn't take much. The most infinitesimal, unexpected change can shift everything. Let's take a breath. Let it go. Just sit there. Don't do a thing. Just rest. Think about the priorities that we set for things. Like someone is getting wound around her axle about Thanksgiving, the menu, all the things. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Whatever shows up is what we eat. We'll cobble it together. Does not matter. And I'm unwilling to get all stressed out about it. I'm more interested in sitting around with the people, having conversation. I'll make my desserts the day before. I've already decided what I'm making. We're having carrot cake and chocolate pecan pie. So we'll just, and I want making those things to be enjoyable, fun, not rush and get this done, so thus making it the day before. Baby steps. We don't need to buy into this has to be a stressful time. It would be so much better for ourselves if we agreed to invoke divine right timing and divine right order. People get there when they get there. Food gets on the table when food gets on the table. If some things aren't done when everybody else's stuff is ready, oh well, we go ahead and eat. We can throw that on the table when it's ready. Much less stressful. Much less stressful. And again, if you have Great Uncle Harry who's going to come and say a bunch of provocative stuff, go back to our previous, good morning, Noel, glad you're here. Go back to our previous Common Ground conversations. The first, I don't think it was 3 are about the holidays and dealing with the holidays and the stress that attempts to put itself on us. We don't have to take it on. We do not have to take it on. Let's enjoy, right? So again, if you feel like, well, I'd love to be able to do that, but I don't know how, keep in mind, I have a Black Friday special. You can sign up anytime between now and Black Friday at midnight. You can use them whenever you want to use them. Doesn't matter if you use it 2 years from now or if you use it 2 days from now. Sign up. Have a couple of sessions that allow you to approach the holidays with peace and calm instead of crazed madness. So, that's letting the divine take the lead. Let's have a breath. So I'd love to hear from you in the feed, please, so that all of the others who watch this over the course of the day get some ideas. What's one thing you're going to think, modify, change, do, breathe into, etc., that's going to make a difference in your holidays? Mine is going to be, when people get here, they get here. When food is ready, it's ready. I'm not going to get wound around my axle about it. So, I'd love to have everybody put their ideas in the feed, and that will make a useful guide for all of us. Have an awesome day. We'll see you again tomorrow. I'll let you know how the Book of Mormon was. And remember, we're all capable of far more than we think we are. Bye-bye.